Greetings and welcome to the first Interregnum report of King of Many Nations EU4 campaign. In this report we will take a quick look at the world and assess the situation. And we'll focus on the converted countries and the ones we have played so far. So, in the last sessions we have played as Hispaniola, and as you can see they have grown into quite a large power. Still a colonial subject though, and it's dubious if they'll ever stop being one, as I've never seen them actually break free from their colonial overlord in a single game. Anyway, let's take a look at Europe. It's so much easier looking at Europe in EU4. Look how small it is, just a few nations. So, we can start with we can start from the top and work our way down. So, Norway has, against all odds, survived against the onslaught of Scandinavia. They're in a personal union with Great Britain. And Great Britain, in turn, is ruled by King George III de Camoy. Interesting, I don't remember that dynasty. Scandinavia, by the way. Great Britain is an administrative monarchy and controls a small colonial territory, not at all large. They barely have anything. They do have parts of Africa though. Might be going for the Philippines and Australia later on. Seems like Portugal already is though. Anyway, Scandinavia, united under the Danish and currently ruled by Queen Margareta, the first Vide. They formed because I added in a AI will do 1 to the Scandinavian decision. I didn't know why it wasn't in there from the beginning. Quite a powerful nation, their capital is in Själland. And they are definitely a power player in this area here. They have been at war with all of the superpower at one time or another. So, Finland has slowly diminished to a one-province duchy even. They are a vassal of Mordva. So Mordva will probably annex them eventually. They are ruled by Duke Valto I Paikul. Mordva. They are also ruled by the Vide. They are the same dynasty as Scandinavia, so the Mesheravids are no longer ruling Mordva. But they are still around and have not been completely annihilated, so that is a great success. Still Nestorian, as you can see, even though a lot of Nestorian territory is under the control of Lithuania. Lithuania is a name suggestion I got, and I thought, why not? So I changed it during active gameplay. So this is the first episode where Lithuania is named Lithuania. Apparently, Lithuania is the name... it's what the Belarusians called themselves under the rule of the Duchy of Lithuania. So, as they have the power, they are the primary culture, it only makes sense for them to have that name. Just like Mordva. Armenia has seen better days, definitely. Ruled by King Anatolius, Caesarius, shoehorned here. They have lost lots of territory in various wars. And for some reason they own this. I don't even know how. It's Cuman and Catholic, so it doesn't exactly make sense. The Netherlands started out as the Kingdom of Frisia, transformed into a noble republic, and then into the Netherlands, and still a noble republic. But now they have turned into a Dutch republic, which means that they have a really grand navy and some trade income modifiers. I believe they are the most... they are not the most powerful nation in the world, I believe, but they have the most score. So, if we take a look here at the score, the current leader is the Netherlands, so not even Byzantium has caught up to the Netherlands in score. And they are still earning more points. But when it comes to earning points, Portugal is slowly climbing to the top along with the Arabian Caliphate. In the Holy Roman Empire, a lot of annexations have been going on. Not a lot of nations left, though some have been released recently, like Swabia and Nuremberg, and this, but it's not part of the Holy Roman Empire. At least the Company of the Hat is still around, although they are a kingdom now, administrative monarchy. I don't really need to show you the ruler here because it's a republic. The republic rulers are always random. Greater Poland wiped out Karl's land, so the Greater Poland name might be taken to spite the Karlslandians, even though they are still Czech. So Poland is not Polish, it's Czechish. Or Czech. Apparently the Mesheravids rule here. The kings, the dynasties like to move around in EU4, for sure. So Queen Johanka, the first Mesheravid, rules in Greater Poland. There are some smaller nations here as well. A merchant republic in Meissen, a duchy here. Göttingen is a kingdom, independent kingdom. Franconia is in a personal union under Lithuania. Interesting. Lotharingia is still a kingdom, and still ruled by the ones that pretended to our throne in Crusader Kings 2. The Van Kaufbjorn. Don't exactly know what that means, but they are not emperor, but they are still part of the Holy Roman Empire. Oh yeah, the Holy Roman Empire, by the way, is headed by Great Britain for some reason. Only 10 princes are left, so yeah, it's not likely that they will declare the Holy Roman Empire as a country anytime soon. The Netherlands have absorbed a lot of the Austrian lands down here, including Salzburg, that were originally a vassal of Great Britain. Tyrol has been on the up and down throughout the entire game. They have been reduced to like 2 provinces, but they have slowly climbed up. And for some reason they have decided to turn into a snake, ruled by King Ferdinand van Holland. St. Gallen was released early on in the game, ruled by the Deventer, apparently a vassal of the Netherlands. The Netherlands has St. Gallen as a vassal. I think they had one vassal here as well, but it's annexed now. Italy has been a hotbed for conflict throughout the entire game. Surprisingly enough, most of it has been conquered by Byzantium now. This is kind of weird because they never had any real claims. They have simply decided upon expanding westwards. This was almost entirely French, and Italy has held on by the skin of its teeth. They are now a noble republic, so they've lost any dynasty they might have had. They do not have a lot of claims, I believe. Well, they have a few here. France, on the other hand, still has lots of claims on the entirety of Italy, including Roma, which is cosmopolitan. Yeah, we can take Byzantium. Why not? Byzantium, an immense nation. It probably has the largest army in the world. Let's see here. Country. No, that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for military. And then armies. So the total army... No, the Netherlands have... I didn't know that. The Netherlands has a force limit of 181. Super powerful. Anyway. No. Sorry. The Netherlands has a force limit of 121, and Byzantium, of course, has 181. But their army is larger than Byzantium's. I do not know if Byzantium has been at war recently or not. Still, Byzantium is eastern and has eastern troops, so even the army of the Arabian Caliphate would probably beat it. 10,000 men here and there is nothing compared to the quality of western troops, followed by Portugal and then the rest, Lotharingia, Manchu, Scandinavia, etc. Might as well take a look at navies as well. Might be interesting to some of you. Total navies here. Netherlands are firmly in the lead. I thought Great Britain would be higher. Must have been in an engagement and lost a lot of ships, because they're only number 5. So anyway, Byzantium is an empire ruled by Helias I Phocas. Bulgaria is entirely gone. They sometimes survived in my Observer games, and sometimes they got wiped out. This time they got wiped out. And Yeah, I believe that Byzantium will probably expand a bit more into Italy, but they will get stomped on by the Netherlands. Possibly. It all depends on if their allies choose to betray them or not. They are allied to Great Britain and Portugal. Hungary, on the other side, has expanded in a very irregular manner, up and down, and lost lots of territory. The Byzantium, ruled by the Van Wessenbergs. Not much to say, really. They are usually the target of numerous wars every 10 years or so. France is one of the most interesting areas because it's a very back and forth game here between France and Aquitaine. Aquitaine is more powerful than France, usually, but France has more powerful allies. Though Aquitaine has decided to ally itself with lots of powers throughout the ages, they have been allied to the Netherlands, I believe. And this territory here has been going back and forth between France and Aquitaine for ages. And down here we have Castile and Portugal. I'll show you the rulers later. I'm just admiring the fact that Castile still has any presence here. I would have moved my capital to the New World a long time ago. Still, I believe Portugal is going to wipe them out here. Possibly relocating them here. I don't know. Either there or on an island. One of the islands we colonized when we played as Castile. Anyway, France is ruled by... No, it's a noble republic. No more monarchists. Aquitaine is a kingdom ruled by Etiennette the First de Barbarano. Interesting name. Hard for me to pronounce. Ooh, Aragon. I didn't know that Aragon was around. Ruled by Adabesa. Same as Portugal, King Sion, de Besa, and... No, Castile is a new... No, they are a noble republic. That explains it. Portugal, anyway. Very powerful nation. Welsh Portugal, really. Yep. It should all be Welsh. Yes, as you can see here, there's not a single odd culture province, except for here, where there are still some Castilians and some Catalans. Let's see, have I missed any nations here? I don't believe so. It's not a lot of them left, to be honest. It's a very centralized Europe. The Arabian Caliphate is a very powerful nation, seeing as it's westernized. But it's been in a personal union for I don't know how long. With the Uzbeks of all people. So, if the Arabian Caliphate were the Caliph of the Sunni world, then I guess he moved to the Uzbeks and became a nomad for a while. But it's due to end. So when the Uzbek leader dies, the personal union is going to be over. It seems like the Arabian Caliphate has only lost land since we stopped playing as them. They lost this to rebels. And I don't know why they didn't take care of them. They probably had their troops somewhere else or something, but it allowed Persia to take it, and now the borders here are all ugly. Persia spawned out of the Timurids, the Shiite religion right off the bat, so they had a very easy time to consolidate this. They have not converted a lot of provinces though. Ruled by Sultan Jafar Gilzai. And they are the third Shiite nation in the world. It's them, the Bahmanis, and Mali. And I'll get to Mali in just a second. Anyway, the Arabian Caliphate is technically ruled by Khan Shadi Raghuvansi. And the Uzbeks are nomads in the nomad group. They have barely any technology, but they are still keeping... They just keep invading India and China. And they are converting everything, because the entirety of Tibet here is Sunni. The Mongol Khanate has spawned out of them, though I don't know when, if they never annexed it or what happened there, really. Anyway, Mali here. Mali and Persia saw... They capitalized on the fact that the Arabian Caliphate westernized. And Persia turned western, as you can see here. But Mali also turned Western, and they have been Western for a while. So, as you can see here, their technology is going up. So even though I placed them in the sub-Saharan tech group, they have managed to take over all of this without creating protectorates. So it's all theirs, and they have managed to westernize and become quite powerful, to be honest. They will not colonize, I believe, unless the game randomized exploration ideas for them. But they will tech up and probably become a power player sooner or later. So, excuse me, I just checked my cables there for a while. Portugal has colonized Western Africa, while the islands are all Castiles. Great Britain has a presence here. Congo has turned Catholic and is a protectorate of Great Britain. So they will probably, just like happened historically, buy their slaves from Congo. Oyo is just a random little nation ruled by Odarvu Alafin. Won't go into much detail. Anyway, the last converted nation we have not looked at is Abyssinia. A Muslim nation that has been successful in conquering Eastern Africa, up to the point where Portugal took what's it called? Mutapa, I think. Quite powerful, but nothing compared to the Arabian Caliphate. Funyi here spawned as a Orthodox nation, but turned Sunni from revolts. Sub-Sahara... No, Western. Funyi is a Western nation. That is very weird. I didn't know that they had turned Western. So the Sub-Saharans in Eastern Africa here turned Western. It might be the fact that Abyssinia has too much tech to be able to westernize. Because, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Anyway, in the rest of the world, there is probably no exciting dynasties or anything, but we can take a look at the major nations. Baluchistan here is a rising power. A sheikhdom, a tribal federation. That's a bad form of government. There's Jaunpur, the Bamanis, Shite. Vijayanagar is rather powerful, but they have stayed this size for quite some time. Portugal has taken Ceylon, and this is Arabia. So, if I'm not wrong, yep, the Arabian Caliphate has taken exploration ideas. So, perhaps we'll see an Arabian Oceania. It's all possible. Is this colony done? Yes, it is. I wonder if they have any other colonies. This one is Portuguese, along with most isles here. Sorry. It's very interesting to see the Uzbeks so far into India. I don't know if they're going to fall apart in the next tribal succession crisis, but I have a feeling that they will. Anyway, it might be the fact that this guy has lived forever or something. I don't know. Let's see. No, he's actually rather new. It's a personal union since 1587, so almost 100 years. But it's going to end, I believe. It would be incredible if they managed to inherit the Arabian Caliphate. Manchu. We saw them on top of the military army lists in number of military men. And they have been invading Ming and all the stuff here for as long as time can remember. Quite historical. Ming, on the other side, has been on the losing side of every battle ever. They have split into two, with Shu down here being a Buddhist China, slowly gaining power. And here we have some minor nations along with Shan. We played Shan in Alea Iacta Est and turned them into superpower. Well, not superpower, we turned one of the nations here into a western nation. But we did play Shan for a while, and they ended up in a personal union under Ming, and Ming in turn was a superpower in Alea Iacta Est, whereas they now are but a rump state here. Ake, nice and strong, This doesn't look very different from normal. And for colonial efforts we have Japan? Oh, Japan is taking expansion ideas. That's very interesting. I've never seen Japan colonize this. So Japan has Taiwan, Hokkaido, and the Kuriles. That's incredible. I've never seen that before. So Japan has actually taken what's Japan here. And Taiwan. And this, right? No, this is... Oh, this is Arabia. So here we have the Arabian colony on Palawan. Will be interesting to see if they can spawn a colonial nation. The Portuguese are almost done spawning a colonial nation. They only need, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They need one more colony before a nation spawns. No one is down here yet. So, for the Americas, we have Hispaniola, an incredibly powerful nation that we saw them to power. And French Canada is also very large. They will probably not declare independence though, if I know my AI right. And let's see, it seems like France is leading the colonial effort here. And I strongly dislike when nations have inland provinces that never turn into colonial nations, so I'm going to be on the lookout for that and assign them accordingly. Because in a lot of Observer games, I've seen nations having like one province here that's Netherlands, for example. And then the converter will probably just make this the Netherlands while nothing else is. Anyway, Floride has been decimated by Hispaniola. Powhatan here is westernized, I believe. No, they have not, but they have turned Catholic. Great Britain failed to create a colonial state. They instead have a little holding here of their own, along with Castile. The Mahicans, a noble republic, under the protection of Aquitaine, while Powhatan is under the protection of Aquitaine as well. The Ottawa is allied to Great Britain because they are Western Catholic power now. Independence guaranteed by Castile. So we have an independent Ottawa community here. Interestingly enough, not in Ottawa. We have the Abenaki, not westernized. They are a protectorate of French Canada. Norway and Great Britain have snagged some of the isles here, while Mexico is split between Aquitanian Mexico, French Mexico, Portuguese Mexico, and the original inhabitants, the Aztec, who westernized in a hurry. And if I randomize another superpower, I might be able to return some cores to the Aztecs, because I believe they still have cores on most of this. Yes, they do. Even though... No, actually, they have not converted a lot of culture. I thought they would have, but they didn't. So the Aztecs have this chunk of land, as well as 2 eastern ports. Down here, 2 Castilian nations, Castilian Colombia and Las Guayanas. And then we have Portuguese Peru, Portuguese Brazil, Rio da Prata, all Portuguese stuff, along with Norwegian Brazil for some inexplicable reason. It's kind of awesome though. Norway is working on creating a Norwegian, let's see here, La Plata. I am curious though if they are going to continue colonizing here, or if these provinces will just stay dormant. If they are, I'll probably give them to Norwegian Brazil. So, I guess that makes up most of the world. We can take a look at the ledger for some other interesting facts. Nations technologies, the leading technology master right now are, well, several of them actually. Yeah, the Western nations, along with the Arabian Caliphate. Is there anyone that stands out though? Anyone who has like 20 in everything? It seems to be Lotharingia actually. The Netherlands, of course. The Netherlands, Scandinavia, and Lotharingia have over 20 in everything. And Italy. But Italy is not a great power. Great Britain has it as well. So, just a few nations have technology over... no, that's over 20. The religions. The dominant religion is Catholic, understandably, followed by Sunni. And then Protestant, followed by Animist. The Buddhists and the Shiites do not have a lot of provinces. But the Nestorians are slowly on the rise. They will colonize Russia and start spreading Nestorianism down there. We have Hindus. And these are all bugged heresy things that shouldn't really be in there, but the official converter forgets to fix them, so not much to worry about. Oh, wrong again. Here we go. Is there anything else we could take a look at? Yeah, the Holy Roman Emperors. Just for fun. Let's see, until... what? Is a Regency Council? Seriously, the Emperor? No, George III is... must be bugged. Or is it? Perhaps he's not of age yet, but he got elected anyway. I don't know. Weird. Lots of nations have been, Frisia in particular, but then Great Britain has held it for a long time. The best leader of the world, not very interesting. Colonies. It's empty. Province overview. No, that's all a local thing. We are an observer, so there's not much to see. I believe that's basically it. So, the world is coming along really nicely. There's nothing I dislike about it. There's no weird nations or weird happenings. If there were, I would have fixed them, more than likely, within reason. I'm particularly fascinated by the fact that the Uzbeks are so stable and have invaded and converted so much land, especially Tibet here and India. Very impressed, very, very, very impressed. Also by the fact that they lead a personal unit of Arabian Caliphate. Anyway, in the next episode, I will once again roll a random nation and we'll see where I end up. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.